Okay. Today we're going to talk about ratios, equivalent ratios, rates, and unit rate, meaning how much one thing costs versus a group. All right, first of all, for a time, the Boston Symphony Orchestra was made up of 95 musicians. Okay, so you had the musicians that are there. You had 29 did the violin, 10 did the cellos. What do we got? 5 do flutes. Close that first. Close that so you can listen. Thank you. 8 double reeds, 4 clarinets, 6 horns, and so on. If I asked you, what is the ratio of flutes to trumpets, you would take the number of flutes and the number of trumpets, and you would say the ratio is 5 to 3. Flutes is 5, trumpets is 3, so your ratio is 5 to 3. It's pretty simple. If you were to just say the ratio of flutes to trumpets is 3 to 5, you would be wrong because you have to have it in the right order. Make sense? All right. So, question for you. What is the ratio of harps to violins? 1 to 29. What is the ratio of basses to clarinets? 9 to 4. 9 basses, 4 clarinets, so it's 9 to 4. What is the ratio of cellos to the orchestra? Sam. 10 to 95. All right. I also want to cover this idea. The last one we just did is considered part to whole, meaning part of it to the whole thing. All of the other ones I was doing was part to part. Make sense? Because we're talking one part of it to another part of it. Yes. That would be different because I said cellos to the orchestra. So you would have been switching around the order. So you can't switch around the order. If I would have said the orchestra to cellos, then you would say 95 to 10. You have to, the order matters, okay? And we talked about this. Now there's 3 different ways to write a ratio. You can write it as a fraction, as you know. So like your violins to violas, 29 to 12. It can be written like a fraction, 29 over 12, or 29 to 12. It can be written out like this, 29, the word TO, 12. Then 29 and the little colon, 12. There's 3 different ways to write a ratio. Those are the 3. Notice that the ratio of violins to violas, 29 to 12, is different from the ratio of violas to violins, 12 to 29. Again, the order is important. And as I said before, you can have part to part, part to whole, or whole to part. You can have it rated all different ways. And as we said, 29 2. When you read it, you want the word 2 in the middle. All right? These are all the basics. So, very easily, what is the ratio of cats to rabbits? 5 to 2, cats to rabbits. Is that a part to part, a whole to part, or a part to whole? Dylan? Part to part, meaning part of the whole thing to part of the whole thing. Part to part. All right. Dogs to the number of pets. Dogs to the number of pets. 7 to 14 is correct because you would add up all of the parts together because it's the whole total number. So 7 dogs to 14 total pets. Would you say that's a part to part, part to whole to part? Xander. Part to whole because you're saying dogs is this is a part and the total number of pets is a whole. So it's part to whole. Okay. Total number of pets to cats. Elijah. 14 to 5, correct. Part to part to whole to part. Whole to part, because you got the whole thing to part of it. Very good. All right. Next. Birds to the number of pets. 6 to 18, correct. Part to part to whole to part. What is it? Part to whole. Good. All right. That's enough of this. Let's move on a little bit, because I'm pretty sure you guys got this down. Now, here's the next part. Equivalent ratios are ratios that name the same comparison. You find an equivalent ratio by multiplying or dividing both terms of the ratio by the same number. It's just like equivalent fractions. It's the same deal. Okay? Write 3 equivalent ratios to compare the number of diamonds to the number of spades. Okay? Well, the number of diamonds. How many diamonds do I have? 3 diamonds to how many spades do I have? 6. Okay? So, an equivalent ratio could be this. Right? 1 to 2. Right? Another equivalent ratio could be what? 2 to 4. Those are equivalent. And if we read the whole thing and we go 3 to 6, it said that you can multiply or divide to find an equivalent ratio. You got to do both terms. Well, I could multiply this by 3 times 3 here, and I would end up with 9 to 18. And if we continued this pattern and ended up with 9 diamonds, we would have 18 spades. You see what I mean? So it's just like equivalent fractions. You multiply the top, multiply the bottom, or you can divide the top and divide the bottom, but you got to do it by the same number. Elijah. The question just says we need to write 3 equivalent ratios, and that's what we did. Okay? So we need 3 equivalent ratios. Give me one ratio. We got, it says the number of, make sure you follow the right order though. Triangles to hearts. So don't do hearts first. Triangles to hearts. Give me one. Yeah. We got 3 to 9. Give me another equivalent ratio. Kennedy. We can have 1 to 3. Okay? So we got that. That would cover that right there. Okay, give me another one, Corbin. 2 to 6. Good. Okay, that would cover that one. Can anybody just give me another one? 9 to 27. Okay. That's correct. And what you did to get that, or what anybody could do to get that, is you could multiply this by 3, multiply this by 3, and you end up with 9 to 27. Or you could have done this, times 9 here, times 9 here, and you'd end up with that. So as long as you multiply the top and the bottom, or both terms, by the same thing, you will find an equivalent ratio. Okay, that's enough of that. The last thing I want to talk about is rate. Rate. A rate compares two quantities that have different units of measure. Suppose a 2-liter bottle of soda costs $1.98. Okay? 2-liter bottle of soda costs $1.98. You might want to write this in your notes. In order to find a unit rate, right here, unit rate, what we're looking for is you want to take, so I'm going to say unit rate equals your total cost divided by the number that you have. That will equal the cost per one, meaning the cost for one unit. Okay? You understand what I'm getting at here? If you want to find how much, let's say you went out to buy you wanted to buy a 6-pack of soda, okay? You're going to buy a 6-pack of soda and the 6-pack costs $3, okay? You want to know how much each can of soda costs. What would you do using what I just told you? What would you do? Yep. $3 divided by the total that we have, right? 6. The number that we have. And we do that division and we'd come up with this, we'd have to add a 0 here. 6 goes in 35 times. Add your decimal. So what that would mean is each can of soda would cost 50 cents. Okay? This is important if you were trying, let's say you were trying to sell them. Let's say you were doing a fundraiser or something. All right? If you went out and you bought 6 packs of soda for $3 and then you went and turned around and sold them for 50 cents each, are you making any money? No, you have to know what you're going to charge per can in order to make some money. Do you understand? So if you want to do that and you want to make some money, you have to at least charge 51 cents. But that would be lame to charge for 51 cents for a can of soda. I would go up to like $1. That way you make 50 cents a can. Okay. You got it, buddy. We'll get back to it. So, we got this situation. You're at the grocery store. You're looking at these paper towels. You got a 3-pack of paper towels for $2.79, and you got a 6-pack of paper towels for $5.46. We want to figure out which is the better deal. Now, a lot of you are going to look at that and go, well, why don't we just double the 3-pack and see which is less? You can do that, but it doesn't always work out so nifty. Okay? So what I want to do is I want to find the unit rate. I want to find out what each paper towel is going to cost, or each roll of paper towels. So here's what I got to do. I got to go total cost, meaning $2.79, and I got to divide that by my total cost divided by the number that we have, right? Okay? Someone got a calculator? So it's 0.93. Oh, we don't even need a calculator. Look at that. That would go in there 9 times. Yeah, 20. Yeah, I should have just made it a little hard. Okay, 93 cents. Now, So we know that one. The next one, we're going to go $5.46, and we're going to divide that by, what, 6? 91 cents. Which is the better deal? Which is the better deal? The 6-pack. The one that costs less is the better deal. You save 2 cents per paper towel roll. Okay? You know what? What if you're a restaurant and you serve everything on paper towels? The 2 cents will add up. But then again, you're probably not buying them in packs of 6. But either way. Okay? The one that costs the less is the better deal. This comes in handy. You know, there's been a lot of times where I've been standing there at the grocery store, in line at the grocery store, or in the checkout at the grocery store, and you're looking, you know, you just say you're buying a jar of mayonnaise, okay? They got like 30 different size jars of mayonnaise, right? All the same brand. You can buy a giant tub of that you can like swim in, or you can buy like a little individual packets, right? Okay? And they got everything in between. And you're trying to look for the best deal. You want to find out the one that probably costs you the least amount. The only way to find that out is to figure out what is the price per ounce. Unit rate. Find out how much 1 ounce costs. And if 1 ounce costs less in the giant tub that you swim in, and then 1 ounce costs more in the little packets, well, maybe it's time to go swimming. All right? Or maybe you're just see, that's also then that's where the decision comes in too. Maybe you're just a single person that only eats mayonnaise once in a while, and then you don't want to buy the giant tub. You buy the smaller one just because it's easier for you. But if you're trying to look to get the best deal or save the most money, look for that unit rate. And I will tell you this, as an experienced shopper going around looking at these prices and doing all these things, the big tub isn't always the best deal. People always assume that that's the best deal because you're buying in bulk and you're buying more. Trust me, it's not always. Sometimes 5 little packets is less. So this one says a 3-pack of juice boxes cost $2.10. A 9-pack of the same juice boxes cost $5.48. Which is the better deal? All right. So we're going to go $2.1 divided by 3. Okay, we got 0.7 here, right? And then we got 5.48 divided by, how many was it? 9? 6. Look, I don't even have to do any more, do I? I don't have to do any more math. I'm done. Because I can answer the question already. Because I know that this is 70 cents, and I know that this is 60-something. And even if it's all the way up to 69 cents, it's still less. So I don't even have to do any more math. I can answer this question without doing anything else. Which is the better deal? The 9-pack is going to be the better deal. Your homework, what I want you to work on. You guys have some time here today. Page 354. $6 to $28 even, and then I want you to do $32 to $40 even. If you have a question, I'd like you to raise your hand.